Welcome to the Bull and Bear Show, episode number 4. And I want to wish all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day. I want to wish all of our friends in America a happy long weekend. And this is the Bear and Bull, or should I say Bull and Bear Show. Now, what do we talk about on the Bull and Bear Show? The Bull and Bear Show is a show where we're going to talk about what's hot, what's not, what's trending every single week. Now, sometimes I'm going to have guests on here. We've already got other guests that we're planning to get on the show. I plan to have Blaze join me sometime while we're live. But, it's Father's Day. So people have plans, super busy weekend. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably with your fathers. So I totally understand. I just want to wish everyone a happy Father's Day. But what I want to do today is I want to talk about the biggest breaking news of the week because we have some huge news happening and it's very important that we talk about it. Hey, happy Father's Day, Brian. Let's get you guys in the chat here as well. So I want to talk to you guys about the biggest breaking news of the week, and it's been a massive, massive week. So let's get right into it. And Blaze, if you're watching, just join me anytime and we'll get you right up in here. Because I know Blaze, his girlfriend, it's her birthday today, so I want to wish her a happy birthday. And I know he's rushing to try to get somewhere where he has some internet and he can get on the show. So hopefully we'll get Blaze to join us as well from Florida. I know they got some bad weather there as well. So hopefully he'll be able to join us. And in the meantime, if you guys have any questions, please put them in the chat. I'm going to go over all the biggest breaking news of the week. And it was a monster week. And we're going to talk about it. And first and foremost, let's talk about the biggest news of the week first. Right off the bat. Here we go. All right. So the biggest news of the week right off the bat is this right here. You guys can see this. You know what? Let me take this chat off for a second. All right, so this is the biggest news of the week. Federal Reserve officials announce a pause in the U.S. interest rate hikes. This is huge because it was the first pause that we've had in 10 meetings, meaning the Federal Reserve literally had 10 meetings in a row where they increased the rates for the last year. So this was huge for the market. Amanda and I did a video on Wednesday where we talked about it. The market was red initially. We said that this will be a boom for the markets because this was the first pause in 10 meetings, meaning the Fed in America raised interest rates for 10 meetings in a row. So very bullish for the market that this is happening. Brian, I'll definitely tell you what I think about IDAI. I like AI stocks. We'll take a look at that one. We'll look at other ones as well. But I thought this was huge for the markets. I think this is huge for Bitcoin. And we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to look at the chart of that as well. But I'm going to show you a whole bunch of stocks that are essentially at 52-week highs. I'm going to show you some stocks that are at all-time highs. I'm going to talk about why I believe we are now in a bull market and why we can go way, way higher from here. Now, there's always a chance that the market can go down as well because we've had a huge boom in the market in 2023. And we've had a boom in Bitcoin as well in 2023. So there's always a chance we could go back down. What goes up does come down. That's 100% true. However, this is a boom for the market because the next Fed meeting is in 4 to 6 weeks, which means we've got a huge opportunity to see liftoff in the market until the next meeting where they most likely will increase rates again. But we've got a little bit of a bubble here where we've got runway for the markets to run for the next month. And I think they will. And we're going to talk about it. I want to show you some stocks are at all-time highs, 52-week highs. And these are some of the biggest and the best companies in the world. Now, what is causing this bull market? Artificial intelligence has been causing this bull market and tech stocks. So if you're looking for momentum, you need to be in artificial intelligence and you need to be in tech stocks. So when you're talking about IDAI, a tech stock, I believe that's a tech stock. You're down 20K, still holding, we'll add more on IDAI. Okay. I'll definitely take a look at that and we'll figure out what's going on there. But I believe that we are going into a bull market if we're not already in one, and we're going to show you why. So let's go right into it. So huge news, the Fed Reserve officials announced pause in U.S. interest rate hikes This is very bullish for the market. Now let's take a look at the markets right off the bat here. So we're going to take a look at the markets. Sorry, I'm just going to move the chat so we can make the market look a little bit bigger here. So you can see right off the bat, we're looking at the NASDAQ. So I want to show you the all-time high for the NASDAQ, okay? So you can see the all-time high for the NASDAQ was in 2021 when everybody got checks for COVID-19. People weren't working, people were at home, which doesn't make a lot of sense, right? But the market exploded in 2021. We were there in the middle of a massive boom in the market in 2021. That was the move in the market on the NASDAQ in 2021. But 2022 was the complete opposite, where it went in the other direction. It went down. That was 2022. So 2021, we saw all-time highs in the NASDAQ. 2022 followed 2021 with a massive crash in the NASDAQ, Dow Jones, S&P 500, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all crypto pretty much went down. Housing had a little bit of a pullback. We saw a massive drop in the markets, and specifically small caps. Small caps took it on the chin. Small caps crashed hard in 2021. So what is happening now in 2022? Now look at what's happening in 2022. I want you to zoom in, right? We're going to zoom in and look at what's happening in 2022. We are now back in bull market zone. We're not where all-time highs are for the NASDAQ, but we are approaching there. And you can see if I zoom back out that we are now getting back into bull market territory. Essentially, the trend of going up in 2021 that went back down in 2022, we've started a new trend back up in 2023, and we're not that far off from all-time highs in the NASDAQ anymore. So I believe we could see all-time highs in the NASDAQ because this AI boom is just getting started. This AI boom is just in the first inning. For a while there, I thought it was going to be like a bubble and it was going to just end. But I was wrong. This AI boom is here to stay, and this AI boom is real. And I'm going to show you a whole bunch of stocks that are really, really benefiting from the AI boom, and it is many. Let's start with Tesla. So Tesla's all-time high is $414. Now, it's actually been as high as $2,000, but it did a forward split. So these numbers are a little bit skewed because it did a forward split, went all the way back down. But let's just say for this chart that its all-time high was 414, and it did this big move up. You guys can see this big move up here on Tesla. Huge move up, followed by a big drop in 2022, which I told you guys, 2022, everything dropped, right? So 2022, everything does the opposite. It drops. Well, what happened? It created a buying opportunity for Tesla. I told everybody to buy Tesla. I put Tesla in my top 4 picks for 2023. I personally bought Tesla at $108, told everybody in our community that Tesla was a buy, and I was 100% correct. Since that bottom in Tesla of $100 at the beginning of January, Tesla's been absolutely on fire. It's gone from $100 in January, where it hit its bottom right here, 101 in January of this year, and today it's at $260. So Tesla's up more than 100% this year, actually up about 150% so far this year. So a huge move for Tesla so far this year. One of the best electric vehicle stories ever. The number 1 electric vehicle company in the world, and the company that is, in my opinion, a tech company. They're not just an electric vehicle company, they're a tech company, and they have one of the richest men in the world with Elon Musk leading the way. Most people consider him a genius. I believe he has to be put in that category as well, and he's definitely done an amazing job with Tesla and for shareholders. So if you're looking for an EV play, if you're looking for an AI play, look at Tesla, because Elon Musk said that Tesla is going to have an AI story soon when his autonomous vehicles start hitting the road, and you can hop into a Tesla, tell your Tesla to take you to soccer practice, take you to school, take you to work, and your Tesla's going to drive you. You're not going to have to actually drive. Your Tesla will drive you to your destination. Autonomous vehicles is coming, and Elon Musk is saying that Tesla will have an AI opportunity that will be massive, and the market is recognizing that, And that's why Tesla's absolutely on fire. Not at an all-time high, but at a 52-week high. And I believe we can see Tesla go much higher. Not to say it can't go back down. Anything can happen from here. It's up 150% this year. But what I am saying is, if this momentum continues in the market and all the top stocks continue to go higher, assume that Tesla will be a part of that because it is one of the largest and best companies in the world. Okay. And that's where you want to be right now with your money, because that is where the smart money is going. They're going into good, big, quality names and quality companies. So Tesla, amazing, amazing move for Tesla. And I believe there's a very good chance that that will continue with Tesla. Now let's take a look at another pick that is absolutely on fire. Another one that I told everybody, full disclosure, I bought it. I told everybody that it was a screaming buy. It was one of my top 4 or 5 picks for 2023, and it hasn't disappointed. Apple. Apple, I bought earlier this year. I sold, took profits, and it has not stopped. It's been an absolute beast. Apple, congratulations if you own Apple, is now officially trading around an all-time high. You can see here on the chart, this is a max chart. This is the highest Apple has ever been, and I've been charting this for well over a few years, and you can see I've even marked buy zones and sell zones, and I've said it over and over again that Apple is one of those companies that's too big to fail. They've got too much money in the bank. They've got too many good quality products. Too many people have iPhones. Too many people have Macs. Too many people have Apple products. And I believe that trend is going to continue. And this is Apple now trading at an all-time high. Apple hit an all-time high this week at $186. So if you're looking for quality companies, you're looking for big names, Apple, they just hit an all-time high, once again proving to you guys that we're in a bull market. Would Apple be hitting an all-time high if we weren't in a bull market? Would Tesla be hitting a 52-week high if we were not in a bull market? Would you like to see more evidence? Would you like to see more proof? I got it. Let's go. How about Nvidia? I told everyone Nvidia was one of my top AI stocks for 2023. I told everybody Nvidia was my number 1 stock for June. What has Nvidia done? Look at that chart. An absolute rocket. We just had Nvidia hit an all-time high this week of $437. In the last year, look at what Nvidia has done. It was at $108 in October. It's now at $426, which means that Nvidia is up 300% since October of last year. That's right, 300% for Nvidia, number 1 chip maker in the world. And right now, I would say the number 1 AI stock in the world is Nvidia, NVDA. Numero uno, look at that chart. It's an absolute rocket, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop. I didn't want to make them my number 1 pick for June, but how could I pick anyone else? These guys are just too hot. Look at that trend. Look at the chart. It's going absolutely straight up. Now, am I going to tell you to buy Nvidia now, trading at all-time highs? Of course not. But if you're looking for a pure play AI stock, this is as good as it gets. All-time highs, number 1 chip maker. They're talking about making $23 billion. $23 billion. That's why the stock is going up. They are making tons of money. And this is the type of environment as an investor where you want to follow the money. And the money is going into the top AI and tech stocks in the world. And I just brought you guys Tesla, proved it to you. I just brought you guys Apple, proved it to you. Now I'm bringing you Nvidia. Apple, all-time highs. Nvidia, all-time highs. Tesla, 52-week highs. This is where you want to be with your money. What did I buy this year? Apple and Tesla. I missed Nvidia, and it hurts. And every time I thought about buying it, I was let me wait for a dip. And then when it would dip, we'll wait a little longer. Then boom, it exploded higher. So yeah, I missed Nvidia, but I got in on Tesla. I got in on Apple. I've sold and taken profits, and now I'm waiting for a little bit of a pullback, but it doesn't look like it's coming. So as an investor, I got to be patient. I got to wait for my next opportunity. But when those huge companies dropped and everybody was panicking, that was a buying opportunity. That's what we talk about here at Rich TV Live. We try to break down winners before they explode, not after they explode. And we've been talking about these picks when they were down so that you could position yourself and capitalize. And I hope you did. But I don't believe we're done. I actually believe we've still got more opportunity for the next year, maybe 2 years, to really ride all of this momentum in AI, tech, and in crypto. I believe the greatest technology in the world right now is Bitcoin. I believe the greatest technology on the planet is Bitcoin and the blockchain. And I believe that I'm going to ride this to unbelievable wealth. And I'm going to talk about that, and we're going to go into that, and we're going to talk about why. But I believe there's so many catalysts for Bitcoin right now, too many catalysts to ignore, and it would be silly not to be in Bitcoin, considering the fact that Bitcoin, did you know that Bitcoin from low to high has been up billions of percent? That's right, not millions of percent, billions of percent. Bitcoin has been up billions of percent. So why would you not want to take advantage of that? Why would you not want to participate in something that's gone up billions of percent, despite the fact that only 5% of the world, or maybe even lower, own it? So if the other 95% of the world get into Bitcoin, what will the price be? A lot higher. Why? There's a finite amount of Bitcoin. There's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be mined, which is one of the reasons why I'm extremely bullish on Bitcoin. I am holding Bitcoin, full disclosure. And remember, everything we talk about here on Rich TV Live is strictly for information and education purposes. Please do your due diligence, do your research before you invest in anything we talk about or discuss here on Rich TV Live. And remember, past performance is not always an indication of future results. Just because Nvidia, Apple, Tesla, and Bitcoin are up doesn't mean they're going to continue to go up. I'm not trying to tell you that they're going to go up forever. That's not what this is about. I'm just here to show you guys what is bullish, what is bearish, what's hot, what's not, what's trending, and talk about all the biggest news of the day and hopefully get you, the people, involved. If you guys have any questions, please put it in the chat and I'll do my best to answer your guys' questions. We got some people coming in the chat. How you doing, Amanda? What's going on? How you guys all doing? Blaze, my man, welcome. Blaze, how you doing, brother?
What's up, bro? I just got back, man. Sorry about that.
Hey, no worries, bro. I'm great to have you here.
So your number with Bitcoin would be about 8 billion%. So 0.06 cents all the way up to 69 grand. So at one point it was about 8 billion.
Massive. Now, let me ask you a couple questions because I've been giving my opinion. I would like to get your opinion. What do you think about the Federal Reserve's official announcement of pausing on interest rates for the first time in 10 meetings? What do you think about that?
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that was going down. Thanks for the news.
Well, the
But
markets exploded, and the reason why the
I've
markets
seen
exploded was
both
because
markets
of the
explode.
fact that the Fed decided finally, for the first time in 11 meetings, to pause on rate hikes. And
Wow.
stocks exploded because of it. What do you think about that?
I love it. I mean, it gives people more options to actually invest and do things with their money, you know?
Absolutely. 100%. Here's the news right here.
And it gives more comfort to actually spending money at this point.
100%.
Couple good things.
Oh, I just lost them. Sorry, Blaze. I just lost you. Here, we get you back. Sorry, Blaze.
It's all right. We're
Sorry
having
about
bad
that.
storms over here again.
Yeah, no worries. Blaze is in Florida. They're having crazy storms. Everyone, please be safe and go to shelter and please be safe. And I just want to wish everyone a happy Father's Day as well. Blaze, happy Father's Day, brother.
Yeah, you too, bro.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate it,
So,
man.
yeah, man, of course. So this is huge. Amanda says we are totally in a bull market. I believe we're in a bull market as well. And the Fed pausing on rates is going to enhance this bull market because imagine the Fed increased rates for 10 meetings in a row and finally they stopped for one meeting. And each meeting is about 4 to 6 weeks. So we've got runway for the next 4 to 6 weeks for pretty much the next, for the rest of the summer almost, of green and blue sky, in my opinion, in the markets. And I think this is a great opportunity for investors. Typically in the summertime, the markets are really slow. But right now, we've got a huge boom in the markets. So typically when everybody's on vacation and it's sell and may go away, that's not what's happening right now. Right now is the time to make money. Like I just showed, Apple at all-time highs, Tesla 52-week highs, Nvidia all-time highs. Stocks are at all-time highs, which means we are in a bull market. We would not see this many stocks in all-time highs if we were not in a bull market. Would you agree with that?
100% agree with that. I was actually thinking about the summertime would be a good point when things go up. So it's actually going down the way I expected it.
Yeah, and because of the fact that the Fed actually decided to pause on rates, that's another reason why the market's going to keep going up, because it's the first time that they've paused on rates in 10 meetings. So the market is exhausted with these rate hikes. People are tired of paying more for their mortgage. People are tired of paying more for their credit cards. People are tired of paying more for their loans. Every time the Fed brings the rates higher, that means that everybody that has debt is paying more for their debt. It's not a good thing.
No, not at all.
Right?
Not at all. To pay way more than what the value is,
Amanda says, I worry about a pullback at these levels, but you never know. I have the same fears. When you see markets at all-time highs, you see everyone talking about a bull market, you see the AI bubble, you see tech stocks at all-time highs, you have to be weary that at some point they're going to get pulled back. So that's why it's important that we talk about it and we give our opinions and everyone gets a chance to, kind of let us know what they think, because we all have a different opinion, but it's important to see everybody's side of it. And I believe that there will be a pullback at some point. I just don't think it's going to happen, at least in my opinion, until the next meeting, where Powell has already hinted that there still will be more hikes. So he's doing one pause, but most likely he's saying that there's going to be two more hikes this year. So I believe there will be more hikes, and that's when the market pulls back. So I think we've got runway until the next meeting. And then in the next meeting, if Powell then decides to increase the rates again, which I believe he will, which will most likely be in the end of July, that is when I think you see the market come back. And that will be our buying opportunity.
That's my target around July.
What do you think about that? You guys agree? What do you think, Brian? What do you think, Amanda? Blaze agrees with that. Do you guys agree with that statement? Love to know what you guys think. All right, I want to talk to you about something else, Blaze. So there's some big news that's been happening. And we'll get into more stocks and stuff, but let's talk about this. This is huge. I want to show you this. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to hide this for a second. I'm going to hide the chat for a second. Okay, so this is the news that just came out yesterday. Binance and the SEC strike a deal to keep US customer assets in the country. And everyone's like, why is Bitcoin exploding? That's why Bitcoin's exploding. Because the SEC went after Ripple and it looks like they're going to lose. They went after Binance and it looks like they're going to lose. And they went after Coinbase and it looks like they're going to lose. And why would the SEC strike a deal to keep customer assets in the country? What do you think about that, Blaze?
Because they already know if they don't, they're going to be losing a hell of money on the taxes,
Not just that, they're hurting investors.
Yeah.
Why the hell are you freezing investors'
Look, you hurt investors,
money?
right? If you hurt investors can't make money and we can't pay taxes, right?
Exactly. And why are you hurting investors? The SEC's job, Securities and Exchange Commission, their modus operandi is to protect investors. How are you protecting investors when you're freezing their assets? That doesn't protect investors. That hurts investors.
It's contradicting. And when they
100%
contradict,
it is.
the SEC can lose a lot of money out of all this mess.
Of course they can, because if they end up losing that lawsuit, they're going to have to pay the lawyer fees for themselves and Binance's lawyer fees. That's going to be very costly.
And not to mention the fact the losses in capital that could be created.
Ripple's lawyer fees have already totaled $200 million. Ripple has spent $200 million on lawyer fees. So if the SEC loses that case, which there's a study that came out that said there's 97% chance that SEC loses that case. 97% chance. So if the SEC loses that case, they're going to have to pay $200 million to Ripple to cover their lawyer fees.
And that's crippling.
Of course it is. Where's that money going to
And
come
this
from?
is a company that's supposed to protect us, right? Now are going against us, and then they're going to take a bath in a $200 million loss, maybe more. I heard maybe 250 by the
It's
time it's
crazy.
done.
It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, because it's not even finished. So it's still ongoing. Uh, Ripple is still spending millions of dollars on these lawyer fees, and it's still ongoing. So there's no end in sight. So this is what I believe is the reason why Bitcoin and cryptos exploded. And let's take a look at Bitcoin. I'm going to show you what Bitcoin's done because Bitcoin made a really big move. And I was hunting the reason. I'm like, why is Bitcoin moving? What's going on? What's the catalyst here? And massive move for Bitcoin. It actually went down. I'm going to do a 5-day chart. So it actually went down to 24,000. You can see here on my chart. It actually went down to 24,000. Hold on, I'm
That
going to
was
show
a
you this
buying
next chart.
point. All the
Give me one
pros
second.
knew to buy there.
Okay, so this is the Bitcoin chart, and you can actually see that Bitcoin actually hit 24,000, okay? That was this week. It hit 24,000. Everybody started coming out. All the haters started coming out saying Bitcoin's going to zero. I'm like, are you for real? You know, there's a long way down from 26,000 to zero. So I have no idea where that comes from.
It's virtually impossible because all the locked liquidity with other wallets that are dead. People are gone.
Yeah, and not just that. I mean, anyone that's saying that Bitcoin's going to zero doesn't have any. Let's be real, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you have Bitcoin, you're not saying Bitcoin's going
You'll
to zero,
never say that's a good call. You're right.
right? The only people that are saying that Bitcoin's going to zero are the people that don't have any. Let's be honest.
I'll tell you
Anytime
right now.
somebody says Bitcoin's going to zero, I always ask them, let me ask you a question. Do you own Bitcoin? They say no. Oh, so that's why you're saying it's going to zero. That's like me
Right.
saying I don't own a house, but the housing market's going to zero.
Mm-hmm.
We know the housing market's not going to zero. It'll
Never
never go
will.
to zero.
Mm-mm.
So why would you say it's going to zero? Probably because you don't have a house. Well, if you don't own Bitcoin, chances are you might say Bitcoin's going to go to zero because you don't own any. Let's be real. The people that are saying that Bitcoin's going to zero don't own it. That's a fact. Okay? Bitcoin is never going to zero. Never. This is what Amanda's saying.
100%
Bitcoin
agree.
is about to moonshot. Amanda believes that Bitcoin is about to moonshot. I agree.
I believe her 100%. That's one woman right there I'm not going to disagree with on certain things. I'll tell you
Look
right
at that.
now.
Look at that chart. So since the news came out that Binance had struck a deal with the SEC, Bitcoin has exploded from 24,000 to where it is today at 26,400. And there's some huge catalysts coming for Bitcoin. Let's not forget that Bitcoin's biggest catalyst is always Bitcoin halving. That happens every 4 years. And what's happening in 2024 in March? Blaze?
Bro, you broke up for a second. I couldn't hear you. My
What's
bad. It's
happening
bad.
in
The
March of
weather's bad.
2024 with Bitcoin?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
What's Bitcoin doing in March of
Oh, it's
2024?
having. Let's
Bitcoin's
go.
doing its halving. The biggest
Boom.
catalyst for Bitcoin is this Bitcoin halving. And the Bitcoin halving is happening in 9 months. 9 months, which means we are 9 months away from the biggest catalyst that Bitcoin ever has every 4 years. We're only 9 months away. And Bitcoin's already up this year 60%. So
I
it's already
expect
up
this thing to
60%.
jump.
In 9 months, it's going to have the biggest catalyst it's had in 4 years. And the last time Bitcoin did its halving, which was in 2020, it hit its all-time high in November of 2021. So
Yes,
based
it
on
did.
that exact same history and pattern, I predict that we're going to see Bitcoin hit an all-time high in October or November of 2025, which means, in my opinion, we have about what, a year and a half? Not even a year and 4 months. We
I
got about a
believe
year
it.
and 4 months, a year and 5 months until Bitcoin gets to moonshot territory.
I'm feeling probably within a year after it halves. So I'm thinking maybe April.
You thinking April 2025?
Yeah, because April's a really good month with crypto. And if it's going to do something, I'm going to stick with the April.
Okay, I'm going to stick with, and we'll go back to this one day. but I'm going to stick with October or November 2025
That's the second good point. So if I wouldn't go with April, I would go with November.
because that's when Bitcoin hit its last all-time high.
Correct.
Like I
But
can
I,
show you
I
right here
think
the exact date.
I
We
think
can go
it's going
back.
to start running nicely a little bit
Here
over
it
a year
is.
later.
The exact date of Bitcoin's all-time high, which was 69,000, was exactly on November 30th, 2021.
Yep, I remember that one.
So, based on that trend, I'm going to predict that we're going to see an all-time high in November of 2025. And I'm sticking with it just because of what it's done in the past. Obviously, things can change. It's always different, but I'm just going to stick with what's happened in the past because Bitcoin seems to be very seasonal, seems to be very trendy. It has these weird patterns that are very, very similar. For example, Bitcoin has a pattern that's very, very obvious. It goes up for 3 years, down for one, up for 3 years, down for one, up for 3 years, down for one. For example, it went up in 2019, 2020, 2021, down in 2022. Now we're in 2023 and it's up again. So this has been a trend and pattern that it's had. And I believe that that trend continues for another 2 years. So I believe we're up 60% this year. I believe this year we finish up, probably even higher than where we are now. I believe next year we continue higher. And I believe the year after that we go even higher than that. My prediction, which I've given you before, is that we see at least $100,000 Bitcoin in November of 2025. I believe you predicted 150 to 250, correct?
Yep.
That was right? You predicted 150 to 250. I predicted at least 100,000.
Mm-hmm. I firmly believe 150 to 200. 250 is possible. It's only because I believe as each year goes by, things get stronger in technology. And with new coins coming out under the Bitcoin blockchain, this is going to be something different. Ordinals is out and stuff like that. They're going to be running tokens off the Bitcoin blockchain direct, bro. So, look what happened with Ethereum when the ERC20 started pumping.
So I'm just marking off the all-time high and the zone. So there's a lot of upside here, guys. Just to get back to where Bitcoin's been before, and I believe we go higher, we got a lot of room to make money. So for example, for us to go from where we are today to all-time highs, there is 154% upside in Bitcoin. 154% in this asset. So if you own Bitcoin or you're buying Bitcoin today, you have an opportunity to get 154% upside in Bitcoin. Massive, massive, massive opportunity for Bitcoin.
Oh my God. Yeah, I see really like a lot more people coming into Bitcoin soon.
Now I got some more big news for Bitcoin. BlackRock has filed for a Bitcoin ETF. This is the next big news that I want to talk about. BlackRock has filed for a Bitcoin ETF. Now, I must remind you guys that everything I talk about is for information and education purposes. Please do your due diligence, do your research before you invest in anything we talk about or discuss. And past performance is not always an indication of future results. I don't hold the market up. I can't guarantee you this is going to happen. I'm just giving you the evidence. I'm bringing you the breaking news. I'm bringing you all the reasons why Bitcoin is, in my opinion, going to explode and making people very, very rich. Now, whether you take that information or not, that's up to you. But I'm just trying to share with you guys my opinion. What do you think about this? BlackRock, the largest institution in the world, buying Bitcoin, apparently in huge amounts, and filing for a Bitcoin ETF. I think this is hugely bullish for Bitcoin. And if this gets approved, and just so you know, BlackRock has a history of getting ETFs approved 99.9% of the time. So when they filed 576 assets with the SEC. 575 have been approved. Only one time they haven't been approved. So I don't think this will be the second time. I believe this gets approved. Now, what that means is once BlackRock gets approved, They're going to bring in trillions of dollars into Bitcoin. Not billions, trillions of dollars into Bitcoin. And I believe that will be a massive catalyst for Bitcoin.
That's why I'm saying it will bump Bitcoin up to about $240,000.
Can you imagine? I would be so happy.
I'm telling you, it's just like certain things. It's just my feelings with gut, and certain investors can really jack things up, and BlackRock gets going with this one, boy. There's
The,
nowhere
the, the
but to go with
largest
that.
institution in the world. Let's talk about this too. BlackRock, not only did they file for an ETF, BlackRock also decided that they're going to put all of that crypto, all of that Bitcoin at Coinbase. Now, why would they put it at Coinbase?
Because they are on the stock market and they are a very trustworthy.
Isn't it crazy? The SEC is going after Coinbase, but yet BlackRock is deciding, hey, sorry there, Blaze, we're losing you. I guess you're having a bad storm there.
Yeah, the lightning's bad. Sorry.
BlackRock, despite the fact that the SEC is suing Coinbase, BlackRock has said, we want to build an ETF with Bitcoin, and we're going to keep all of that at Coinbase. So obviously, BlackRock doesn't think the SEC is going to be able to stop Coinbase.
Nope.
Because if they did,
Because they're going to
why
help
would they
them.
put all of their money there? Right?
Because they're going to help them.
Yes. Right here, MJB just says, if China wants it, then the SEC will approve. That's another thing, a huge piece of news. Apparently, China and Russia are considering using Bitcoin as their currency for BRICS. Could you imagine if China, Russia, and apparently 20 other countries that want to work with them now decide that they're going to use Bitcoin as their currency? It's game over. Game over. Now, why would the United States want to take a backseat to China and Russia? Why would Canada want to take a backseat to China and Russia? They need to be at the front of this technology. They need to be the leader in this technology. They can't be behind China and Russia. Why would they want to be behind China and Russia? That makes no sense. So Bitcoin and the US took the lead. Russia and China kind of took a back seat. Now the United States is going after Bitcoin and crypto, and China and Russia are saying, you know what? Why don't we step up and become the biggest players in Bitcoin now? To
Like
me,
they were before.
that's right. To me, that was a trick. China never planned to get rid of Bitcoin. They were just tricking everybody to think they were so that they could just own more of it.
Yep. So the
Secretly
price will drop
buying it,
down dramatically.
secretly buying it, secretly owning it, secretly controlling it, and now choosing potentially to use it as their number one form of currency with BRICS. If you don't know what BRICS is, it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and Saudi Arabia all coming together, and Iran all coming together and saying, you know what, we don't want to use the US dollar anymore. We're going to use the Chinese currency, but maybe they're going to say, you know what, let's just use Bitcoin. The United States doesn't like Bitcoin anyways. We'll use it then. This is a huge time in history. This is where Trump needs to become the president because Sleepy Joe's sleeping at the wheel.
Right.
America
And
cannot take a
Mexico might be
backseat in Bitcoin
joining
right
them.
now. America cannot take a backseat on Bitcoin right now. This will be a huge mistake. You cannot let Russia and China become the number one players in Bitcoin. That would be a huge mistake. And that's exactly what's happening with the leadership in Canada and the United States because Trudeau hates Bitcoin. In fact, he makes fun of it. Biden is always going after Bitcoin as well. So Biden and Trudeau have nothing good to say about Bitcoin,
Hey,
which
if
is
we
why
get
they
big
are
old
the
Ron in
wrong
office,
administration right now for us in Canada and the United States. And everybody knows it. Everybody says it. And China and Russia see it as well. And that's why they're like, oh, you know what? You guys fumbled Bitcoin. We're going to take that interception. We're going to take that fumble and we're going to run it in for a touchdown.
you never know. Mexico might join them too.
That's right. 20 countries, Blaze. 20 countries. Look at this. Crypto Man is saying China already has a digital dollar that they will use, but it will pair with BTC. There you go. So they're going to be pairing with BTC. So
Yeah,
why
what is
do
it?
Canada
The
and the
ring?
United States want to fall behind in this technological war?
I don't think we will as Americans if Ron DeSantis gets in.
I agree with you. Ron DeSantis. And you know another guy is that other guy, oh man, the nephew of the guy that was assassinated. What's his name?
Oh, geez. Kennedy?
Yes, the Kennedy. The
Yeah.
Kennedy, he's all about Bitcoin. He's all about Bitcoin. So is Trump. So there's four presidential nominees that
We're
are
good. We'll
that
be
are
in.
accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment.
America will be joining the group.
They should join the group. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. It's just we have a very terrible administration right now in Canada and the United States. Did you know that Canada just reached 40 million people? We just had a huge surge in growth in Canada. Why do you think, Blaze?
That's a good question.
Well, I know why. I can tell you.
Tell me.
Canada is letting in tons of immigrants into our country because the
Wait.
people that are here can't even afford to live here anymore. Vancouver is officially, I believe, the most expensive place in the world to live.
So
And
basically, the immigrants that we're allowing through our borders are making their way up to Canada.
And not just that, immigrants are coming to Canada and they're excited about having a new life. They don't care about the cost of living. They're just excited about the freedom. They're excited about the safety. They're excited because a lot of them are coming from like war torn countries. A lot of them are refugees. So they're just happy to have a fresh start. So these are the people that are voting for Trudeau. It's
That's
not the
like
people that
5
live
million extra
here that
people in
are sitting
Canada.
here going, like for me, I got kids. I'm sitting here wondering if my kids can ever buy a house when you live in Vancouver like I do, and the average house is $3 million. How's an average kid that goes to school and gets a normal job paying 30 to 50,000 a year gonna buy a $3 million home?
That's a good question. Ain't
This
gonna
is the
happen.
problem that we have here in Canada. So what do? People don't want the jobs that are available. People are leaving. A lot of Canadians are leaving. A lot of Canadians are looking for opportunities elsewhere where there isn't such a tyrannical government. So what do? People are leaving. You open up the floodgates to immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
Let the
I was
immigrants
just
come
gonna say
in.
that all your nationals are gonna be leaving, while immigrants are gonna be replacing them
That's right.
at a lower rate.
And that's why we just broke 40 million Canadians, despite the fact that we can't even house our Canadians. We have 40 million Canadians and we have a housing crisis. People cannot afford to live. We have so many people that are
Yeah,
homeless
you
in this
guys'
country.
average yearly income is about $51,000.
Yeah, I would say the average person makes between 30 to 50,000 a year.
Mm. Yeah, because I was checking out the numbers the other day. It's like 57,000 in the USA, 51 in Canada. Poverty rate like 7 to 10%, which ain't bad.
All
But
right.
with
So
more immigrants coming in, don't you think numbers are going to switch up?
uh, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I just know that if this country continues to go in this
You
direction,
know why they want to do it, Rich? Is because Canada wants to control people, and when immigrants come in with opportunity, they're easier to control.
true.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's all about.
I
Like,
got
you
another
guys don't
piece
want
of
to
news
listen to us? They
I got
will.
another piece of news I want to talk to you about. Here it is, front page. US withdraws new charges in Sam Bankman Fried case, punts them to 2024. So now the story is this guy who stole billions of dollars, and we know someone, Chris, who lost 100 grand himself, right? And millions of people lost money. The story is not only did this guy get house arrest and his parents' mansion, which means he never went to jail, he's living in his parents' mansion. Now the story is they're pushing the court case till 2024. And now the rumor is he might not get any jail time. None. What do you think about that, Blaze?
I think that he paid his way out of it, man, and gave some information about Binance, and that's the only thing that will get him out.
But isn't that crazy? How
That's
can you
crazy.
get away with
That's
that?
once
How can
again.
how can you steal billions of dollars from investors? Millions of investors all over the world take losses and get away scot-free. How
Don't make
does that
sense.
happen? How do we allow this to happen? How
It
do we
don't make
allow
sense.
Biden to the story on Biden coming out now taking 30 to 40 million in bribes? I mean, this
Hmm.
is real
I think he's
evidence.
taking more than that, Rich. I think he's up to a
There's
hundred and something with this one.
there's hard evidence that him and his family have taken all these bribes. He's the president of the United States.
Well, he
What is
knows he's
happening
going
in this
soon.
world that this is all happening and nobody's doing anything about it? Now, this guy in plain sight steals billions of dollars, tells everyone he's broke. We all know that's a lie.
Hmm.
Steals billions of dollars from millions of investors all over the world, gets house arrest, and now gets his case pushed back to 2024. By the time they do this case, everyone's going to forget about it. Crypto will be back in a bull market. And chances are everyone will get all their money back. And then they'll be like, oh, look, everyone made their money back. Let them out. Let them
What's
free.
this FTX thing? That FTX two. They trying to push this thing up.
I, they're trying to bring it back. And that's
Right.
what they're going to
And
be
the only
the
way to
case.
bring it back is to pay to hold the case until 2024 when Bitcoin has. Come on, man. It's right out in the open.
There it is. So they all of a sudden there's a huge bull market in crypto. All of a sudden FTX gets all this money. They pay most of their investors back, and then Sam Bankman-Fried's hands are clean.
They're giving him to 2024 because of the Bitcoin they know he's holding. If it bumps up high, he'll have enough to pay people. I know what they're doing, man.
It's crazy.
It's all just dirty stuff in my book.
Of course, you and I would not be able to get away from stealing billions of
Mm.
dollars from people.
They throw the key away. They
But
drop
for
us off
this
in the
guy,
ocean
they
somewhere.
gave him house arrest in his parents' mansion.
Mm.
House arrest for a criminal who stole billions
Well, think
of
about it. He put a
millions
lot of money
of
on
people.
Biden's election, right?
That's right. He
All
was
right.
one of the
So he's
largest
got the president of the
donors to
United
the
States, and
Democratic Party.
he
One
got
of the
the
largest donors
president.
to the Democratic Party.
Usually, the governor can pardon you from crimes, right? But what do you think the president can do? A lot more, bro.
Of course.
So he owed him a favor, and he's paying him up.
All right. So a lot of people are talking about a bull market right now in the stock market and in crypto. When do you think crypto makes a massive comeback? Do you think this is the start of the bull market for crypto? Do you think it happens this fall? Do you think it happens next year? Do you think it's already started? What's your opinion on the next bull market for crypto? Or do you think it's
Okay,
already started?
freezing interest rates. SEC makes a deal to keep American funds in, and then Binance. What was the other one with Binance? No, SEC makes a deal with Binance, and BlackRock is backing up Bitcoin to put it on. So we'll have four good reasons why crypto goes up. Boom. Because BlackRock backing up Coinbase is a miracle right now for
Huge,
investors. It
huge,
is something that we said last week to stay positive, right?
100%.
And a week later, look at the turn of events. Four major things you talked about on this show is the reason why that I think crypto. I mean, I'm not pimping out any tokens. I'm just saying, even tokens like the My Lady's little meme token cranked up over 140% in the past week. So if them little things are doing something, what do you think the biggest things are going to do?
Rocket.
They're going to rock
Absolutely
it, man.
rocket.
Everybody needs to do what Rich says: study, pay attention. Do not spend your rent money on any investment. Don't put yourself broke, but always study. Do your due diligence. You know, keep an eye on the market. Don't take great chances, but take some chances. At the end of the day, it's we're giving opinions right now. In my opinion, I believe is where I've been finally waiting for a few years now, where I'm gonna really do. a lot different than I did in the past.
So my last piece of news that I want to talk about here in Canada, and I know it's the same thing in the United States. Here it is. Relief for long-term borrowers may be short as Fed aims to hike rates to 5.6% this year. So essentially what that means is even though we got a pause, it's going to be a short pause because it looks as though that Canada and the United States are going to continue to hike rates even higher after this pause. What do you think that's going to do for investors? Do you think that that's going to scare investors? Are investors scared in America about the mortgage rates right now? Because I know here in Canada, since Trudeau got into power, interest rates have gone up 122%. So interest rates are up 122% since we had our new prime minister take over with his regime. Housing's out of control. And people aren't making necessarily more money, but people are paying way more for their debts, their mortgages, their car loans, student loans, their credit cards, everything that they have debt on, they're paying more on now. Food costs more, gas costs more, everything costs more, but people aren't necessarily making that much more. So, how can people actually afford to live if the Fed continues to be very, very hawkish, constantly increasing rates? What are people talking about in America right now? Is this bothering investors? Is this
Bothering
bothering
everybody.
homeowners?
So eventually, a lot of people are going to sell and be back to square one with this one, bro. But I think, it might hike, but I think it's going to go back down. I'm very positive about this because they can only choke people so much before they stop fighting back, especially in America.
Yeah, I'm surprised that
They're
America
going to
hasn't.
lose money this way. Trust me.
I'm surprised that America
All the
hasn't
people I know
started
that own
fighting back.
homes over here, all around the beach over here and stuff, they say, I'll sell and just invest my money and I'll bank it. I'm done. I ain't going to give them nothing. So a lot of people are talking about not wanting to kick in and give in.
Okay, before we say goodbye, I want to show you guys a couple more stocks that just hit all-time highs. Here's Microsoft. Microsoft just hit an all-time high. Microsoft, one of the biggest, best, most powerful countries in the companies in the world. Microsoft just hit an all-time high. Look at this. Look at that move on Microsoft. So this is what I mean. We are clearly in a bull market. You don't get an all-time high from Apple, an all-time high from Nvidia, an all-time high from Microsoft, and a 52-week high from Tesla unless you're in a bull market. We're clearly in a bull market. You can see we are trading on top of the Fibonacci's. Look at the RSI sitting at
Wow.
72. All of these indicators say sell, but yet it's still going higher. That is because we are in a clear bull market for large cap assets. Institutions and investors right now have an appetite for the best companies in the world with the most money in the bank.
Wow.
Companies that are getting into AI and companies that are tech companies, companies that are chip companies. That is where all the money is flowing right now. It's extremely obvious. I just showed you guys stock after stock after stock that are at all-time highs. I want to show you another thing that's happening. IPOs are happening again. We didn't have any IPOs last year. Last year was a graveyard for IPOs. IPOs stand for initial public offering. Those are new companies that are going public in the market. Cava, brand new IPO, came out, went up 100% day one. Came out at $19, went all the way to $47. Huge move up in hype. And what did it do the next day? Went down 12%. So how do you trade an IPO? You got to wait. Wait, be patient. If you can't get in right in the first initial run and then sell immediately day one, you got to wait for a pullback, wait for all the selling to stop. Once it hits a bottom and gets into a good buy zone, then you buy it. So I haven't bought this yet, but this is a new stock we can play with. It's Cava, CAVA. Put it on your watch list, put it on your radar, a brand new IPO, Cava.
I've been watching that one.
And there's more IPOs coming because now that this IPO started and it did well out of the gates, remember it was at $19, now at 38. So it's doubled.
It's still 100%.
That's right. So it's done extremely well for investors that got in early. They've all made money. So what this means,
1938 is 100%.
that's right. So what this means for investors is, hey, there's going to be an opportunity for us to get more IPOs going public. So who's going to go public next? Who's talking about going public? Reddit. Reddit. And I know you love Reddit,
I love Reddit. Reddit's awesome, man.
right? So Reddit's talking about going public. So there's a lot of other
I'm
companies.
I'm in no matter what with Reddit.
You know who else is talking about going public? OpenSea.
Oh wow. Well,
OpenSea, the
that could be
number
the
one
deal in the
platform in
back
the
for
world for
Blur,
NFTs, OpenSea, talking about going public, Reddit talking about going public. So there's some companies out there that are talking about going public. So even Chat GPT, uh, different open AI and artificial intelligence companies are thinking about going public. So there's so many different companies that are talking about going public right now because the market is changing. We're in a bull market. Stocks are moving again. People are buying. And guess what everyone is saying is going to explode next? Small caps. Small caps are expected to explode next. So, what do we talk about at Rich TV Live? We talk about early stage, undervalued, underappreciated, underexposed small cap companies. And we try to talk about those companies before they explode so the investors can get an opportunity to get in before they explode. That is the whole idea behind Rich TV Live, is identifying undervalued, underappreciated, underexposed assets before they explode. Not everyone is going to explode. Some of them are going to go up. Some of them are going to go down. Some of them are going to go up and then down. Some of them are going to go down and then up. Some of them are going to go sideways and around. That's the market.
Yeah, keep your eye on the prize, guys. Pay attention.
That's why you got to do your due diligence. That's why you got to do your
Mm-hmm.
research before you invest in anything that we talk about and anything we discuss, because we talk about everything here. We talk about stocks, we talk about cryptos, we talk about NFTs, we talk about news, we talk about politics, we talk about everything here. So, because we talk about everything, you can't just go out and buy everything we talk about. And we just talked about a bunch of stocks that are at all-time highs. So, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to buy them. But what I am telling you was when they were down at 52-week lows, then I was telling you to buy them. Go back and
Right.
look at all my videos on YouTube. Last year, I was telling everyone to buy Tesla, Shopify, Facebook, Google, Amazon, Apple, Bitcoin, Ethereum.
Microsoft.
And what did they all do? Blaze, did I not tell you about all of these last year?
All of them. Every one of
Each
them.
and every one of them. And I bought almost all of them. And I've sold all of them in profit this year. All of them, except Bitcoin
Mm-hmm.
and Ethereum, which I will not sell.
Right.
Not until at least 2025. Not until at least 2025. And even in 2025, I probably still won't sell because I just believe
Yeah.
in the opportunity that Bitcoin has as the single greatest investment of our opportunities, the single greatest investment of our lifetime. And why would I want to sell it if it has the potential to continue to go higher? It would be a huge mistake. So that's why I'm not even thinking about selling my Bitcoin
No,
or my
you can't in
Ethereum.
2025 because in 2029 to 30, it's going to even go greater.
That's right. If we believe it's going to hit 100,000 to 200,000, maybe some people say 350,000 in 2025, then what is it going to hit in 2030? My opinion is we're going to see a $1 million Bitcoin. So if I can hold until 2030, I'd much rather sell when it's worth $1 million than when it's worth 26,000 like it is today, or
Mm-hmm.
69,000, which it might be in the future, or 100,000, which it will be most likely in 2025.
All these countries getting involved. This sucker's going to go high, boy.
Blaze, we're out of time, brother. Is there anything else
Oh,
you want to say
wow.
before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I just want to tell everybody, look at, I sense a bull run coming. Keep an eye on all the prizes out there, your favorite stocks. You want to target them. You want to research them. You want to make a move. And then you want to capitalize. Much love to everybody out there. Appreciate you all coming and listening to us.
I appreciate you guys. Go and follow and subscribe to Blaze. I will put the description and the link to his channel in the description of this video. Thank you for joining me today, Blaze. I know it's your girlfriend's birthday. Wish her a happy birthday for me.
Much
And
love, brother.
I want to wish you a happy Father's Day. I want to wish my dad a
Yeah,
happy
happy
Father's Day.
Father's Day. You
All
too,
the
bro.
dads out there, I want to wish you a happy Father's Day. Go and wish your fathers a happy Father's Day. Us dads don't get enough credit, and we work damn hard for all of our children out there, and we deserve credit. So, all the fathers out there, I want to wish you a happy Father's Day. You guys are amazing. You guys are blessed. Keep being great dads. Keep supporting your kids. Keep supporting your wives, your friends, your family, and your loved ones. And thank you for joining us here on the Bull and Bear Show on a Saturday when it's a long weekend and Father's Day is coming. So I really appreciate everyone that's been here. Thank you for all of you guys that have been here in the chat. Amanda, Brian, everyone else, Crypto Man, everyone that's been here. Thank you for watching the 4th episode of the Bull and Bear Show. Blaze, thank you for joining us once again. Always a pleasure, brother. Go and subscribe to Blaze Investor on YouTube. Once again, I'll have a description and a link to his YouTube in the description of this video. And thank you guys for watching. It's your host of the most, your boy Rich from Rich TV. If you're not winning, you're probably not watching. Bringing the winners, bringing the news, CEO interviews, chart analysis, breaking news, trending topics, and we bring it to you first. Have a great day, everybody. Bull and Bear Show, episode number 4, and I'm out. Peace.